Welcome guys. 23 volt. Just gonna be making a. This is gonna be the shortest one, hopefully. Thoughts kind of video I'm ever gonna do. So we have some more news regarding Fire Emblem Fates. Um, and the news is that, well, probably the big news is that Fire Emblem Fates will actually include same-sex marriage, which is awesome. Like that's incredibly awesome. Because in Awakening, like I would have thought it technically could have been possible. An example, Tharja. If you were a female avatar and uh, if it, well with male avatars, if they have support conversations with Tharja, Tharja would show her very what would you call it? Very aggressive, very forceful kind of attachment to the avatar. And it's the same thing with the female. And you would think that she's technically bi, but because in that game they never intended to not include it. It just never crossed their mind, excuse me, to make that a thing. But in this case, yes, there is same-sex marriage, and how apparently it works is, I believe it is stated here. I'll actually also should mention that there's going to be two versions. There's two versions in Japan. Japan's already playing this game, so congratulations to you guys. But yes, there's two versions: Conquest, which is pretty much Nor, and Birthright, which is Hoshido. And depending on which one of the characters, like you, in each game, there is one character that is pretty much bisexual. And in this case, I believe in the Conquest version, if I can find the picture, see if I can find it. Let's see here. La 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 la. I should have had this up and ready. No, not you. All right, actually, no, I know who it is. So let's go to Fire Emblem Fates characters. List of Fire Emblem Fate characters, which is already cool. They already have this up, which is nice. All right, so the character in question slash spotlight whatever is this guy. So this guy here, Zero. He has the ability Outlaw. Wow, that's a cool role. All right, but he has the ability to marry a male avatar, as well as this chick who you saw briefly, Shara, who oddly enough looks like Tharja. She is from the Hoshido side, and if you've guessed it, yes, she can also marry the female avatar. So that's pretty cool. I'm actually really proud of Nintendo and Intelligent Systems to include this kind of thing. And it is kind of weird how they are saying that the reason, like how this article states it, is that I believe previous Fire Emblem, blah blah blah, Awakening players can marry opposite sex. Conquest Edition, in other words, blah blah blah. All right, so yes. Apparently, some might be saying this, but I really just think Nintendo is just doing it because they have the right to, and they just can. Like, there's no, there really shouldn't be necessarily like a big deal of it. I mean, of course, it's a big deal because nowadays I'm glad it's kind of this kind of stuff is now kind of being normalized, which is kind of really sad for me to say it is normalized, considering it should technically be normal in the first place, but that's not the case. But yes, Nintendo actually got criticized-ish due to Tomodachi Life not having the ability to have same-sex relationships. I mean, you can be like best of friends, but there was no marriage kind of thing, because in Tomodachi Life, it was pretty much a simulator, so that's technically why it got criticized, which I can see the point. It's a fair. Well, I wouldn't say it's a fair call. I mean, it's a good point, and you can say that, but like I don't think Nintendo. Sorry, I'm pressing buttons. I don't think Nintendo, the family-friendly, loving gaming Nintendo, would ever state something like, "Oh, we care not for same-sex marriage. We don't want it in our games." They would never do that because I don't think Nintendo is that harsh or rude to do such things. So I'm glad that Fire Emblem Fates is now, in this case, supporting this lovely, lovely thing. Um, Other than that, I guess I can actually kind of talk about the whole two version things. So like I said, there are two versions, Conquest and Birthright. The fact that we're going to be getting, like outside of Japan, the fact that we're going to be getting two different versions as if it was like Pokemon, it is kind of eh. I mean, it's kind of I can understand why. It would be really weird, like, because Nintendo's always wanted this game because it's really heavily based on choice. That they've always wanted to have one game there, and if you don't pick that route, then you have to pay for the other one because you're pretty much getting a new campaign, a new story, a new game. So you pretty much, if they gave it all in one cartridge, one, that's a lot of space, and two, that's two games in one. So, excuse me. I do understand why, like, they want to pay kind of extra if you're going to be doing both routes. But the problem is for me is that I want to know, like, because I'm still really neutral right now. I don't know who to pick. By the end of the day, I'm probably just going to buy both games at the same time. Actually, no, I don't know if I should do that because I believe was it if you buy the game, then you can get DLC to the other game, and then DLC for the third, and the DLC for the third one is for both games as well. So, and vice versa for the second DLC, for depending on which game you get originally. Which, in hindsight, that's kind of the best way to handle it. Though I do wish it was still one cartridge, and then depending on which story you picked, um, you'd have to buy DLC for the next because it's hard for me. Like I'd have to. I want to go through the first few chapters and get to know these characters, and then finally decide who I'm going to choose. But because I'm very indecisive, I don't necessarily have that, and I'm pretty much still stuck in between. Alright, so, but other than that, two DLC, oh, no, sorry, two different games, getting them both. I don't know which one I'm going to be playing first. If I want to say one that I'm going to be playing first, I'm going to be probably playing Hoshido first, just because of the fact that they have completely new classes that I'm really interested in, and then since Nor is harder, then I can go at that step difficulty and then go through Nor, and then play that way. And then I'm going to assume that the third campaign is going to be the hardest one there, but also the most fun, because then I can recruit people left, right, and center. Is there anything else I need to talk about? No? No, not necessarily. Alright, so there you go. I am done for the day. So, to summarize, Fire Emblem getting two separate copies, depending on which side you choose. And you can have same-sex marriage in these games. Double thumbs up. Triple thumbs up if I had a third thumb, but hey, what are you going to do? Alright, so I'm 23volt, and I'm going to be signing out of this mini kind of thoughts discussion on Fire Emblem. Now, I should also mention, before I end my turn, I'm actually very excited for the upcoming month because my first semester of university is completely done. So I'm going to be working heaps on Sacred Stones and at least trying to get that done. I don't want to say I want to get it done within the month because then that's really milking it a bit, but it is the only project I want to focus on. I do want to go back onto Chocobo and have this kind of recording style going with it. But I realize that this Chocobo is going to be really, really difficult just because I am doing it on an emulator and you need a touchscreen for it. So Chocobo is going to be out of the question. And other than that, if I don't play Chocobo just because I still think it's difficult, I'm probably going to just stick with Fire Emblem 7. It's probably going to be my next one after Sacred Stones. And then after Fire Emblem 7, go to Fire Emblem 6. And then after Fire Emblem 6, I'd probably go to Shadow Dragon. And yeah, I guess that's how I'm just gonna go with it. And I'm gonna try play those games before I get my. Before I'm actually trying to plan this. I don't know how I'm gonna get it. Like I've turned this Fire Emblem discussion into an update, mini update video. Um, but I also do plan on trying to like get a 3DS capture device, and I've seen a few of them, and I'm looking at the prices, like 500, $600. Am I looking at the right spot? Because I don't know where I'm going to be finding these things. I, I don't know how I'm going to get them in Australia because I don't think Australia actually has this kind of stuff. I mean, I could go try exploring a bit, but first of all, I'm going to need the cash to do it. But other than that, that is for another day. If I do manage to get a 3DS capture card before Fire Emblem Fates comes out, I'm definitely going to buy the game and immediately just blind playthrough as a Fire Emblem fan to show how I react, how much I love the game. But that's a story for much later on down the year. So I guess it's a good thing that it takes time for Fire Emblem to come out, but it sucks because we have to wait so long. Alright, so I've rambled on enough. So yes, I am 23 Volt, and I am ending my turn. It's up to you guys now. What do you think about Fire Emblem releasing two different games, the same-sex marriages, and possibly anything else, like any other news, like you think about the game? Just think about the game in general. It's a good game. It's going to be a good game. I know it's going to be a good game. Will it be an Awakening? Some will say yes, some will say no. It's going to be very mixed. But any Fire Emblem game is a good game. Maybe, but oh well. Alright. See ya.